Hi, my name's Pat Davis, and I'm from Cabot, Arkansas. Today I'm with my dear friend Joe Duggar, who's also our family doctor, and about, July of 2024, introduced us to some special technology, and it has made an impact on us and many, many people we know. We've seen what we have to say, Joe, are miracles, probably hundreds, maybe even thousands of them.
Well, I would say the results with the patches has been remarkable. I've had several instances where people had stem cell therapies through the traditional means, which, as you probably know, is very expensive. And then when they've discovered these patches were so affordable and accessible and started using them, they had something to compare it to, and their responses on decreased inflammation, on regenerative benefits was better than it was with their traditional stem cell therapy. So I've seen on more than one occasion for multiple different things, really, really great responses to it. That's often a question, what's in the patch? Can I take it with medication or can I use it with medication? There's nothing in the patch. It's a reflective surface. It works by activating stem cells through your body's own infrared. It activates your body's healing response. So there's no interaction with other medications. There's no contraindication to using the patch. Essentially, it's so different than any other patch that anyone's typically heard of. Most patches are transdermal delivery systems, so they're delivering a drug through the skin. This patch is not that way. There's no drug in the patch. So it's really phenomenal as far as the technology and how it works. The first thing I did when I started looking into this was to dive into some of the independent studies that are out there, and there are numerous ones. And so it was very reassuring to see all of those studies that documented the benefits of the patch, the activation of stem cells, and really there is such a wealth of data to verify that, and I absolutely think there's a very robust amount of resource. It only took me about a week of looking to feel confident that this was something that needed to be using myself and recommending for others.
So there are hundreds, maybe even thousands of stories. We call them miracles because really that's what they are, of people who've had their lives changed by these patches.
About 5 days after I started patching, I noticed I didn't have the pain in my shoulder that I had for like 2.5 years. And also I had just been diagnosed with IBS, irritable bowel syndrome. At times it was really hard to walk even, and I couldn't move around much. And within 2 weeks, the episodes were less and less until I didn't have any pain at all.
So I've been playing drums at my church for about 15 years. And in the past, I would always notice pain in my wrist and my elbow after I would play for anything more than like an hour. Now I can play for 2 hours, even 3 hours, and I don't feel any pain in my wrist or my elbow. I've also noticed that brain fog has gone away, which I really didn't know what brain fog was until I started wearing these patches, but my mind's a lot sharper. I don't forget things as much as I used to. And I also noticed when I ran on the treadmill, I would only run for like 15 minutes before I started wearing these patches, and it was even a struggle at that. But now I can run for twice as long, for about 30 minutes or even longer. And I don't even feel like I need to get off, honestly. So it's been amazing.
I've been fighting neuroalignment MCAS for about 17 years, and I've had a lot of neurological issues because of it. I've spent a lot of time living in bed. There were days that I couldn't move or talk, and that was just our life as we knew it. We started having miracles happen in our life, and one of them was our son that we waited 17 years for, Ty. He is our delight. And recently, I went into a major surgery. After surgery, all of my symptoms completely stopped. I started patching immediately, and I didn't even have to take all of the meds that they gave me. I was living on Benadryl or antihistamines about 6 a day at times, and I have not taken any. And so I am seeing so many amazing results. The recovery time has expedited. It has completely allowed a lifestyle that we have longed for, And we are so excited to see what is to come. And so remember, if it's not good, it's not the end.
I mean, for me, I just have experienced, a lifting on brain fog, energy. I didn't even know I had brain fog. I guess I had just gotten accustomed to struggling to find the energy to do what I needed to do every day, drinking about 6 cups of coffee a day, just in staying motivated. And ever since I started wearing the patch, I don't know how to explain it. When I get done with my work day, I still have stuff to give. I still have energy and life to give away to my family when I get home at the end of the day. So it's been a game changer for me and my family. I've noticed, doing physical exercises, I don't have pain like I used to have. I mean, I was very active when I was younger. I abused my body. So I started experiencing aches and pains really a lot sooner than what I should have. I've been patching for over a year now, and I don't struggle with any of that anymore. I mean, I feel like I did when I was in my 20s. So I literally feel 10 to 15 years younger.
Some people will get a very quick response, and some will take weeks or even months to get the results that they're looking for. Because one of the problems with that approach is you're waiting for your results, but you're preventing someone else from getting results because you're not going to share it with them, or you're not going to point them to the technology. I think this is one of those things you want to get it into other people's hands as soon as possible, and then let them get started on it to see what kind of result they can get, especially when you know what it can do for people. But I've been so impressed with what it does for neurodegenerative disease. Specifically, there was a person who had Parkinson's and who still has Parkinson's, but had a significant tremor, so much so that he couldn't write, couldn't feed himself, had to quit his job because he was not able to put data into the computer anymore through a keyboard. And within 1 week of starting this stem cell patch, his tremor completely went away. And this is a person who had run the gamut of all the other potential therapies out there through medication and traditional systems. Sometimes fairly immediate, sometimes within the first few weeks or months, where we're seeing cognitive function improve with dementia and the things that we just don't see in what we have available through pharmaceuticals and other means of therapies.
Hi, I'm Dr. Torrey Brooks. I'm a retired chiropractic sports physician, and I had the pleasure of treating some of the world's best athletes for over 20 years. We're going to talk to you about this technology that is absolutely prolific. It is the product of our generation, and it's for everybody and anybody. Doesn't matter what age you are, doesn't matter where you are and as activity, it is for you. So pay attention. You're going to hear some amazing things. Patty, do you mind jumping in and introducing yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. So I, Patty Glick, I am a nurse practitioner. Have, over 40 years experience in the healthcare arena as a nurse and nurse practitioner. I did my training at USC for both my undergrad and my grad, and I maintained a private practice in Southern California for 25 years. But I really decided to take the next step, and that was leaving traditional healthcare to be able to move over into an arena that would allow me to help people to live a healthier, more holistic lifestyle. Dr. Torrey, you've got a really great story on how the technology has assisted you and your family. And I think that this is important because as healthcare providers, we want to really make sure that the things that we are standing behind have credibility and trust with the people that we're sharing it with. So can you share your story?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Once I started sharing it in my practice, I had it about a month and a half before I retired.
Mm-hmm.
Home run after home run. I started using it myself. Within 2 weeks, my sleep apnea was gone. My wife, she goes, I have got to be part of that. Give me some of this. And she had gone through adrenal fatigue, and her hair was falling out, nails are breaking, even her eyelashes, and she hadn't slept in 10 years. First night she put the patch on, she called me crying. She could sleep. Hot flash was gone in a month. Then we shared it with our oldest son who has asthma, who had asthma, and he has not had an asthmatic attack in 18 months. Okay, it's gone. And no more allergies in our house either. They would take he and his mother would take a Zyrtec every day for the last several years. Even my wife was taking two. No more Zyrtec in our house. And our youngest son had eczema problem. And so it was so bad that his open wounds didn't allow him to basically use his arm, and it was a shooting hand. So he quit sports. And now, 4 months after wearing the patch, completely gone. Even the scarring is gone.
Yeah, my story started actually about 2 years before I put the patch on my body. And I had heard about it, but I was so skeptical. I thought, oh my gosh, this sounds like voodoo. What is this all about? But the more stories I heard, the more research I did, I thought, I have got to give this a try. So I slapped it on my body. And much like Dr. Tori's wife, sleep was the very first thing for me. And within 3 nights, I was sleeping through the night. I still sleep like a baby. I have incredible dreams, incredible energy. My biggest miracle came at 5 days in, and I've struggled with an irritable bowel disease since I was 15 years of age, on medication and still sick 3 to 4 times a week. But guess what? 5 days in, all of my symptoms went away. I'm now 16 months after starting the patch. I haven't been sick once, haven't taken any medication. I feel fantastic. At 4 months, all of my neck and shoulder pain that I had on a daily basis went away. And I know that I will always continue this patch because I know that the effects that I'm getting from it are compounded.
Every human being that's walking this face of the earth has a problem. Our stem cells become dormant as we get older. And so it starts to become really rapid at 25, 30th, because by the time you're 30 years old, half your stem cells are not active. And then by the time you're my age, oh gosh, I'll be 60 this year. I got about 5, 10% left. And then next scene in that movie, that's when you start replacing body parts. And we don't want that, right? I want to keep my joints. I want to get the inflammation out of my body. Well, that's what happened. That's the problem because chronic inflammation is the root of all disease and it just devours the stem cell activity. And so fewer stem cells that you have, the faster you age and the slower you heal.
He's had over 20 years of experience working in the field of what's called phototherapy. His first technology was developed for the Navy SEALs and is still used by them today, 20 years later. So I want you to really lean into the credibility of that. He has over 200 patents, and by the end of the year, will be at over 300. This should give you a tremendous amount of confidence and credibility, just like it did for Dr. Tori and us. As Dr. Tori said, this is for everyone, and we are here to be able to use technology as a way to serve mankind.
Well, physiologically, it's phototherapy at its greatest, okay? The
Mhm.
sun is phototherapy. You walk out in the sun, what happens? It hits your skin, converts some of your cholesterol into vitamin D. That's phototherapy. Instead of the sun being the source of light, each individual is a source of light, and we reflect light from our body. This patch grabs the light, and with its proprietary blend, it will reflect it back into the body and turn on a peptide called GHK copper peptide. And
Mhm.
GHK copper peptide was discovered by Dr. Picard in the 70s, and it is fantastic. It is the holy grail of anti-aging and age reversing. It's amazing. So we found a way to be able to activate that signaling molecule to have its great effects, okay? It's non-transdermal, so there's nothing on it. It's not medicine. So anybody could put the patch on. It doesn't matter what medications you're on, nutritional supplementation, your condition, your disease, your disorder, doesn't matter. Your age, everybody could wear the patch. And now results do vary though, Patty. Okay, some people are one patch wonders. Some people, it took me 2 weeks to get my sleep apnea to go away. It took a month for my wife's hot flashes to leave. It took 3 months for my son's asthma. It took my other son 4 months for his eczema. Everybody has their own timeline, okay? But as physicians, we are clear this is not medicine. So it's not a turning off something or turning something on immediately, okay? It will have to take this course for the body to heal itself, okay? And each and every person's different. So give it a year. Give it at least a year to do what it needs to do in your body so you too can get your testimony. Now, the benefits of this is like once you put it on scientifically, we know that within 2 days, 4,000 genes are being reset to their youthful status. That's amazing. You just stop there and say, okay, sign me up. But it gets better. Within 6 weeks, your brain becomes balanced. Okay, inflammation's leaving the body, and which is fantastic. No more going into a room wondering why you're there. Okay, I used to do that, but in any event, also 3 months down the road, collagen is starting to be laid down and created from your body. None of this supplementation of that, and it goes to the gut, and only a portion of it goes to your body. 100% your body is activating collagen growth in your body. Okay. And then 6 months down the road, it's actually age reversing at that point, Patty. Your cardiovascular system, 8 years younger. And it just keeps getting better and better. Big problem, right? Our stem cells are going to sleep, right? like the
Right.
seven dwarfs, the sleepy. And then we have a big solution that we just talked about. Does that create anything for us?
It creates an incredible opportunity. This technology is for everyone, as Dr. Tori talked about. And when you hear about it, and especially when you get these patches on your body, you are going to want to be able to share this with everyone. So looking for an opportunity, because we know that 85% of Americans, they don't love their job. We know that finances are one of the leading causes of divorce and stress in a relationship. So this is an opportunity for you to help us to get this patch on a billion bodies, right? But to also create some financial options for your family. This company has had tremendous growth. We are in 85 countries, which gives us a massive international presence. The other thing that's very important when you're considering an opportunity, you want something that'll give you meaning, purpose, and fulfillment. But you also, as Dr. Tori talked about, think about supplements. If you're going to go buy something, where do you start? There's a million different things. We are the only tool on the market that will actually stimulate your dormant stem cells. We are on a 20-year patent, which means we have no competition. So you have so much opportunity there. I assisted 6 people to get started before my patches even arrived, because once I knew, and I had to share it with the world. It is my responsibility as a healthcare provider. So getting started, you can come in retail, pay a little bit more, or you can come in at a wholesale price. There are going to be 4 bundles in which you can come in. Decide what's going to be right for you with a conversation. You can order 3 months of your X39. That would be $295. You can order 6 months of your patches. That'd be $535. Probably want to use them with your family. There's a next pack, which will be 11 packages. Use them with your family or just yourself. That'd be $975. And then for those of you who have a big family, or you've got a medical practice or a business that you want to be able to bring the technology into, that would be 20 months of the patches for $1,750. We are on a big mission to change the world and to get this technology onto a billion bodies. My question is, start with you. Are you ready to go? And then consider, do you want to come and help us have a big impact and create a big change in the world?
We just really appreciate you taking a handful of minutes today to learn more about this technology and to spend a little time with us and let us share our hearts. And we want everyone to experience this. We passionately believe that there's no one that should be without these patches, because we all have things that we need to happen in our bodies. And this is such a great opportunity, and we look forward to being able to share more with you. And you just have a blessed day.